Oh Jump, oh Jump, oh Shonen Jump, how I love to do videos on you, because boy, just every time I feel like whenever you get a chance, or like whenever you just bring a new series and it's just like, let's rush these series out and just get them cancelled, and just the way how they're always handled is the most insulting, just ending cancelled, and they aren't even allowed to finish their works, where it's just like, yep, the adventure's continuing, but you're never gonna find out. And well, what does this news come from? This comes from that Jump is cancelling two series, Amalgamous Distortion and alongside with Demon's Plan, and both of them ended on Monday. And this is the thing about this chapter, as I am not caught up with Amalgam, and I probably ain't gonna do that. I saw a couple of chapters and I thought it was alright, and Demon's Plan and all that, for the sake of it, I thought it was 12 chapters, and I ended up reading it, all of it and all that. And wow, oh wow, the ending is really insulting. Not only to people that really enjoyed it. I know a lot of, I wasn't the biggest Demon Plans like fan at all and all that, but I know a lot of people that was really getting into this series and they really wanted this to go somewhere. And it's the same thing with Red Sprite. Like, I was really into Red Sprite, and that got cancelled as well. And I'd like to say Red Sprite's ending as well was really got down insulting to it, like to the material and all that. I feel like this one was a little bit more worse, to being honest. Like, I generally think, like, the way how this is handled, that the fact that, but like, Boro, like, the main character, didn't, like, nothing got resolved. That was, if anything, like, not only did nothing get resolved for the most part, as they just beat up, like, one of the grunts. I believe he was, like, one of the henchmen of, like, the bad guys. Like, the fact is, like, they finished, like, one arc that would have just been, like, oh, setting up to the finale. But the fact is, like, they just decided to add more things to it. It's like, oh, here's your main, the main villain and all that, Carlos and all that, finding out, like, some really interesting stuff about him, the main girl as well, like, you know, the family as well, being revealed for Patreon, like, as well, like, who he is, and then even the fact that they set up this, like, in this last chapter as well, it's like, we're gonna have this big legendary fight, everyone's gonna be in here and all that, and it's like the fact that you gotta come to this grand, well, let's be honest, it's Waco Mundo, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like skeletons and thrones and stuff like that. It really just, even though it's like, it's that, like, the Tower of Battle from, like, Persona and stuff like that, it really did remind me as well of, like, yeah, oh, this just looks like Waco Mundo as well, what they're going with the demon stuff, and it's just, the fact is, like, they're like, oh, I will be waiting for you, come to the final area that you're never going to see, and like, just going off with a smile and saying, we're gonna sell, like, just the last couple of pages is just so insulting, like, where it's like, isn't it obvious? I'm gonna save Carlos and, you know, and Salvi's brother, I'm gonna protect them all, like, you know, that's gonna be me and all that, and then just the fact that, like, the last part of the chapter is like, I'm gonna make sure I return with him once more with Carlos, and I'll never lose him again. And the last bit of thing you get is, thank you to our beloved readers. Please look forward to Okamaka Sensei's next work. And it's like, Volume 1 and Volume 2 going on sale. And, like, you know, that, nothing got resolved. Like, it's so, Red Sprite's one is bad as well. And even with the fact that, you know, like, Hungry Joker had a fucking, like, you know, it got cancelled as well. And it did the same thing where, like, its ending was like, here is a literal cast of characters that look really cool, you've been wanting to know for a while, here you go. And that was set up. At least Hungry Joker had 24 chances, and at least it resolved and ended off with a good fight. This is just setting with a fucking grunt. Same thing with Sprite. Heck, even Barrage, this thing didn't last long either. This is from the guy that does My Hero Academia. This is his last work in Jump. This got cancelled. This only had these 2 volumes. These are the only ones that exist of this series. And it's a shame, because I'm not gonna lie and all that, like, even, like, I really do enjoy My Hero Academia, but at the start and all that, I was way more into this. I think Barrage has a way better start than what, like, My Hero Academia does. My Hero Academia thinks, like, it takes a little while for me to, like, super get into it compared to this series. Like, I was just blown away by, like, how bad this, and I dread to think, like, with Amalgam's ending as well, like, I dread to see if that's gonna be anything different, but it was fucking bad, and it's a shame where I have to say, it's so bad, the ending, and it's not because of the author. It's not because of the author. And then you say, well, he didn't have chance and all that. Like, you know, so what? Like, maybe it didn't captivate like so many people, like, you know, that it did with other series. You know, maybe like, and the fact is, like, as well, they're ending the dancing like series as well. And I'm not like going to comment about that because I've only seen the first chapter of it when the whole Shonen Jump preview come out. So I'm not even going to comment about like that ending and all that. It had like 90, 80 chapters and all that. So it had a way better run than some of these series. But it is just insulting. That's just the only way. Like, even the fact is it's a business at the end of the day. You've always got to think about that. But trust me, I don't think as well when you're handling material like this, like as well, where it's like you're working with creators and like created works. I think maybe having an extra week or two on even just that. I think if anything, you like the way how they plan it, I think like it always shows that they get told super last minute. They probably get like told right as they're like being sketching up like the second to last chapter they already got, and then like most of the time it sounds like you already got 2 weeks. Sometimes it's a little bit further ahead. Obviously, like we know with like Gintama's been planned like that. I'm sure as well, like, you know, with Naruto as well, they planned that for a while. Same thing, you know, like even though Toriko and all that was like, yeah, we're pushing you out, and they got rushed and all that, I think it was clearly shown that he had to wrap that up pretty quickly. And yeah, so it's just like, it's insulting. It generally is. Like, you wouldn't, like, that's the kind of really shitty business thing that, like, jumped there. And the fact is like, that what they're doing now, great. They're just putting out 6 series. Guess what? They're just going to be fucking put to the slaughter. You have maybe, like, 1 or maybe 2 series that might last 24. But it's just, like, I generally think, like, Demon's Plan, it could have just had, even if the fact was, like, I feel like even 1 more chapter could have just been there, and it could have been like the main guy Bora just charging in, going in. It's like you could have talked about all the battles were hard and trivial, but like that's just insulting. Heck, like the only thing I could say, the people that actually like were fans of this, I hope at least the final volume has something about that, where it's like it's an extra chapter which actually shows you the ending, because that's not a concluded story. Like, that's terrible. Like, that's so bad. Like, if anything, even if it's a good or a bad or a middle-of-the-road series, the one thing I always want is a concluded fucking series. Like, that was the one thing, and it's really goddamn annoying. It's so annoying that it's got treated like this, and this is not the end of it. We've had multiple series. I've mentioned previous stuff and all that, and I hope if at least anything and all that, like, this isn't going to affect how Jump and all that, but I hope, like, if anything, like, they're going to get lower and lower, like, amount of, like, people that they complain where it's like there's been shitty and more amount. Well, maybe you give people a fucking chance, because I generally don't think 3 months is enough for them, like, to get into their stride or anything. Like, it takes so much for them, and, like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys go to fucking different other magazines. Like, you know what? Like, go into another one and all that, see if that, like, does better. But I don't know, wait and see. If anything, it's a shame. I hope the guy gets another chance or something else, and I hope it does a bit better and all that. Like, if anything, My Hero Academia is a lesson where it's like, his first one flopped incredibly hard. Who knows, you could be like the next My Hero Academia, where it's like you get really popular. Like, same thing, like, you know, same thing with Hungry Joker. Hungry Joker got canned, came back with Black Clover, and it's, you know, it's getting an anime now. So, you know, maybe you just have to do that and all that to, like, survive in the industry. Like, so we'll have to see if his next series is going to do that. But I'm curious, what do you guys think? Because I was really disgusted with, like, just the news and that. Like, and I'm curious to see as well, for the people that did read Amalgam, at least tell me how did that end? Did that end any better, at least, and all that? I think it had more chapters, so maybe that could be something. Maybe I think it had like an extra chapter or so maybe, and like it might have had an extra like time just to conclude stuff. So I don't know too much about Amalgam's plot. So we'll wait and see. But that's all from me. Thank you as always, and I'll see you guys though next time.